Hi Stitchy friends, welcome to Flosstube number 24. I can't believe we're so close to 30. I'm so excited. My name is Chelsea. I am the owner, the designer, and the creator of Vermont Stitchy Co. Vermont Stitchy Co. mostly does, for those of you who are new, cross stitch patterns that I put on my Etsy page. That's what I mostly show here, but I do also, and I love quilting, so occasionally, and today's that day where I'm going to show off a little bit of quilting that I've done. So tuck in, grab something to cross stitch with, and we will go and get started. So today I'm still at my computer. I'm filming like right above my computer because I actually can see my eyes, and I really like that. I like that you can see my eyes because the glare of the window was too much. And you can, see the glare of my computer a little bit, but it's not too bad. So I think I'm going to stick with this. I think I like this. I mean, it's minimal movement because I'm behind my desk and trapped a little bit with my chair and stuff, but I like it. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with it. First kind of Halloween-y thing. It's October. I've decorated my house, or changed around the decorations, I should say. I try and change them seasonally. So this is still a little fall here, but in my curio cabinet we've got fall stuff mostly, but I've changed over. Some of my quilts are more Halloween. This is kitty corn panel and charm squares. So around the, let's see if I can do this backwards. Around the outside are the charm squares, and the middle is the panel that I bought separately. Really cute, not very big, not even a throw. It could easily be hung up on the wall. I think it's as big as this painting. It could easily be thrown up on the wall, but I like it on my chair. And then this is the quilt that I have been meaning to show off, but I keep forgetting. So I don't remember the fabric designer or the pattern name, the collection name. I just don't remember it, but it's all about cats. See if I can show you a little bit. See, cats. I was trying to do what's called a disappearing 4 patch. I don't know if I did it. I did not follow a pattern. I just thought, oh, here are 4 squares. Let's cut them up and see what happens. I think this is how a disappearing 4 patch works, but I don't know. I don't know if I got it right. So, they're not charm squares, they're layer cakes. That means it's a 10 by 10 square, and it comes in a pack of roughly 40 to 42. I think this had 42. And so I sewed 4 of those together. Each layer cake is 10 by 10, so I sewed, yeah, is it a layer cake? Yeah, a layer cake. Yeah, so I sewed 4 of those together, cut them up the middle, vertically and horizontally once they were sewed together, and then switch the blocks around, which gives it this kind of road block look. You can see it a little bit better on the blue here and the pink. And then I actually didn't have enough fabric in this line to complete the blocks. It's 3 by 3, and I had 1 extra, and I didn't have enough blocks, so I just took scraps of fabric from a different line completely, but it works together because the tone and the hues of the colors are the same, at the same level. Like if this was bright pink, it wouldn't have worked. So they go together really nicely. And then I put sashing in between as well. And then I made this a reversible quilt. So what that means is that both sides has something on it. So normally it's kind of a neutral or a blank, doesn't take away from the quilt, the other side. Basically, it's normally one color, one pattern, and it doesn't take away. It complements the front because the front is the focal point. But occasionally I like to do 2-sided because I'm frugal as I can be, and I change around my decorations a lot, but it just doesn't feel right to have a quilt out only for a month. It just doesn't. So I occasionally will double side it to make it a two-sided quilt so that the quilt can stay out for a longer period of time, because I put all this effort in, all this sewing and free motion that I do. It takes a lot of work to do it, and so I want to show it off and I want to have it out for longer. So I took scraps that I found at I can't remember, it's in Shelburne Falls, Mass, I think, and they take fabric that people don't want, or perhaps people passed away and they had a bunch of fabric. They just gather them and sell them for a very discounted price. It's not anything fancy. The store is not anything fancy in terms of, like, it's not a fabric store. They don't carry brand new lines. It's just a hodgepodge of everything. So I found a bunch of stuff. So we've got a panel here with the cats, and I'm calling it my cat quilt because everything is cats. And then below the panel is another panel, and it's got cats on it as well. And then below that one, I have what's called a cheater quilt, where it's already got the pattern. It gives the impression that I did a lot of work sewing all of this together, but I didn't. It's called a cheater quilt because it's printed on the fabric, or however they color it. It's printed on the fabric, and I don't have to do any of the work. So this is a printer quilt, log cabin cheater quilt, with a heart in the middle, which is a very cool concept, and I like that, and it seems like it'd be fun to do one day, to actually make a heart in the middle of a log cabin. That would be fun, but I've never done that before, and I would probably just applique the heart and then do the log cabins. But anyway, so it's a double-sided quilt. The darker side, this side, the hodgepodge side, I'm calling like the fall transition. So I still am using it, but this is more spring to me. So I can still use it and enjoy it, and it's nice and warm, but I don't have to put it away after a season. I can have it out from fall into winter and even into spring. I just flip it over. So that to me is really nice and really cost effective. And because I'm not trying to sell this, I don't care what the back looks like. I don't care that it's not perfect. It's just for me. But if you are trying to sell, for any of you on here who might be trying to sell their quilts, the backing can be quite important for people, so keep that in mind if you decide to do that. Any other time I would care about the backing, but it's for me. Okay, let's get into cross stitching. So I wanted to show what I just put out this week. Yeah, because we're on Thursday. What I put out this week on my Etsy shop. It's this little bat guy. This just popped off. This is just held on with hot glue, and I knocked it, of course, as I moved it over here, and it popped off. So I'm just gonna hot glue that later. But this is part of a pick that I got from Michael's, from there, like, it was 50% off $1. And so I just couldn't resist the deal there. So I picked it up, and the pattern is done in purple. So the bat is purple in the pattern, but if you're not into purple, and some people aren't, or if purple doesn't go with your aesthetic, you can change the bat to be black. You can do really it's a purple bat. You can do a blue bat. You can do whatever you want. But you guys know me, I like a little bit on the cutier side of Halloween. I mean, you can see that's not very scary. I don't do scary, not that it scares me, it just, that's not my aesthetic. I think it's cool when done right, and I am not going to do it right. So, so I'll just stick to my lane, and it's cutesy. And then this is also from a pick from Michael's as well, in their Halloween discounted section. So, and this is the smallest hoop that I have. I think it's a 5-inch hoop. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the smallest hoop I have. And this is supposed to be the moon, and then we've got little stars. They didn't quite fit the stars, but the effect is the same. And I think it's really cute. I like it. Again, choose whatever color you want for your little bat guy. I wanted to show, so I have been showing for the past couple of videos, a couple of the first cross stitch patterns that I had done before I put anything on Etsy to sell. So this is one of the last ones that I made. I started my Etsy page this year, as well as my YouTube. So I believe I did this for Halloween last year. Still doing the bust out canvas. This is fabric, extra scrap fabric. I had extra scrap fabric, and then up here is extra scrap fabric. I don't know if you can tell. This is like a spider web type thing, and as is this. This is the inspiration for this that I made. I think I'm gonna do a remake of this, because this is a lot bigger. These ghosts are a lot bigger, so I think I'll do a smaller version next Halloween if I can remember, and do another set of costumes for them, so that I could put them together and have multiples hanging on the wall, and they all have different costumes. So I think that'll be really fun. But you can tell that this is the ghosts in here are a lot smaller than this one. I also added Trick or Treat, which, you know, take it or leave it. I did it in opposite orange and black. These are picks from Michaels, flowers from Michaels as well, in their Halloween section. I saw this again, these pumpkins again, but in different colorways. I think they had green and purple. If you're interested, this year, last year I don't remember them having it, but green and purple here. They did have these again, and I wasn't looking for these, but I'm sure they're just flowers with a little gold, I don't know if you can tell, it's been in storage for a little bit, a little gold, or orange I should say, sparkle on the ends. But same as before, I've got a thin canvas on the back. I used a hair tie and hot glued it down so I could hang it if I wanted to. But this one makes me smile. I really enjoyed making this one and doing it. So if I can remember next year, I think I have this out on my Etsy shop right now if you're interested. So we'll see. Next year, if I can remember, I'll put it out again. I also have been showing off some stamped cross stitch, I want to say kits, but that's not the right word. Stamped cross stitch patterns that I had bought as I was learning how to cross stitch. So this is from 2023, I believe, and this took almost 3 months, I think, to do, because it's very big. For me, this is very big. So this, we all can tell who this is. I don't want to get flagged by YouTube, so I'm not going to say it. But so this is a cross stitch kit stamped that you can buy. Do a quick Google search. It might not be the exact one anymore, but they're out there. And it's paint by numbers, but with cross stitching that you can do. So if you're interested, this is like the scariest I get for Halloween. It's really kind of dark and black and orange. So but if you're interested, it's out there. If you're learning to cross stitch, this is a great way, and they have them in all seasons, all colorways, anything you can possibly imagine. There are websites out there where you can buy a cross stitch kit. I think they're fun if you're learning how to cross stitch. They're also a cost effective, because some patterns that are made, there are pattern makers that are on Etsy, but they're also elsewhere as well, and you have to buy the physical item, which costs quite a bit more than a PDF, which is what I sell. I sell full color PDFs, color with symbols as well, in case you have if you can't you have a color blindness. So this is cost effective because it comes with the pattern, the floss and normally it's 14 count Aida that you're stitching on, so it comes with all of that, and the pattern is printed right on here, so that you're really just getting this and the floss. And they also come with a couple needles as well, which is really, really lovely. So if you're new and you're not sure if you want to invest all this time and money, if you just got a kit, it's all there for you, and you're not spending, not that floss is and stuff is a lot of money, but it does add up. If you want to do something this big, the cost of floss can add up a little bit. So I'm not sponsored by anybody. I think it's a great way for newbies to learn how to cross stitch. So I've got a new pattern. So after the bat, I took a few days to just kind of decompress and see what my next project, what I wanted it to be, and I couldn't think of anything. Like, I have stuff in the back ready to go, but none of it sparked my interest. I wasn't really excited to do it. So I made a new pattern. I really like looking at all one color cross stitch patterns. If you haven't seen any of that, please pause now and just Google really quickly. All one color cross stitch. It literally is what it sounds. It's just all one color in every shape and everything. There's no shadowing. It's just one dimension, one color, and it's absolutely beautiful. And so I thought, I want to do something like that for Halloween. But then when I made it, I looked at it, I took a step back, I walked away, I looked at it, and I thought, I don't really like the pattern. I like the pattern, but I don't like it being all one color. So I had to throw a little bit of orange in there. So it's black and orange. If you prefer without color, you can stitch it up. If you choose to buy it, you can stitch it up. Decide, after a couple days, I don't like it with just one matte color. I want more in it. So that will be yours to decide, and when I'm finished with it, we'll have a deeper discussion about that at that time. But so I've got that going, and then I thought, okay, if it's all black with a little bit of orange, what the heck am I going to stitch it on? Because I don't want to do white. That's too stark of a contrast, and I don't want to do another color. Blue would be weird because of, I imagine it as a nighttime scene. So blue would be weird for me and my decor and what my brain thinks. Purple would be okay, but I've got a lot of purple already. I just did the bat. I've got the ghosts on purple. I want to switch it up. I want to do something else. So I spent time taking RIT dye that I already had. So I have purple, blue, or technically it's aquamarine, and gray. And I took time to mix gray with purple to then in one container, and then gray with blue to see what kind of colors I was going to get. And then once I chose the one I want, I thought, okay, well, let's mix all of them and see what I get. And I didn't like that color either. But I got this kind of, I don't know if it's coming off on camera because my wall is blue, but it is a blue gray. So I did about a 1-to-1 ratio of capfuls, not the whole bottle, just a capful, 1-to-1 ratio of blue, or I'm sorry, aquamarine and gray mixed together. And again, it is more blue in person than it is gray, but it's a very subtle, small hint of the blue. So this is what I've decided. I'm going to do the black with the pop of orange. I think it'll look nice. I think it'll look really nice. And once that's done, I will put it on my Etsy shop and put it on Instagram. So follow me at both if you want to, but I'll also share it here because by that time it'll be closer to Halloween and I think it'll line up just right. So yeah, I've got that. There was one more thing I wanted to share. Oh yes, I forgot. So my stepmom reached out to me last night and asked if I could design a pattern for her with the nativity scene that she's going to then cross stitch. She's not a cross stitcher. She's totally beginner. She's made a quilt before and she's like, never again. I'm not doing that anymore. It's too much. I think it was like close to 20 years ago, and she's like, I'm not doing that again, that's too much. So she wants to try this. And so she reached out and said, hey, can you design me a nativity scene pattern? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, let's do this. So I have the pattern, I made it this morning, and now I'm just waiting. I took a picture of it and texted it to her to say, hey, do you like this? Is this too much? Is this too big? And I gave her the approximate measurements. It's going to be, I think, 4.5 wide and 5 roughly inches tall. So it's not going to be a big piece. And so we'll see what she says. I do like the version that I made, so I think maybe in the Christmassy time, when late November, December comes around, I'll probably cross stitch it and put it out there, because I like this version. It's very beginner friendly. I did that intentionally because I know she is a beginner. So trying to do straight lines, keeping everything in, not going too crazy and wild. I want her to feel successful, because this is a fun thing and a very nice thing she's doing for her mom. So that's how I'm going to leave it and make it really beginner friendly. I'm not going to get fancy and do a bunch of back stitches or anything. It's just going to be simple nativity scene. But I designed my first camel today. Who thought that was a sentence I was going to say? But I think it's very sweet. It's Mary, Joseph, the baby, and then the 3 kings, 3 wise men, 3 kings. I'm not sure what they're called. I'm not all that religious, but I have a general understanding. So the 3 kings or 3 wise men are there, and there's a outline, very, again, beginner friendly outline of the manger, the star on top, and a few more stars around. So hopefully she likes it. We'll see what she says, but I have that copy. I've saved it to my computer. If she wants me to adjust, then perhaps I will adjust it and then also put that one out as well. So we'll see. But yeah, and then quick update about me. I think I left you last week letting you know that I have to take progesterone pills to boost my progesterone levels, and then pills to lower my estrogen levels. So I had a friend ask me, she said, how are you feeling? Does it make you feel any different? And on the negative side, I have this thing now where I randomly get itchy, and when I itch myself, like the mark that I leave swells up, almost it looks like I have a large mosquito bite on my skin, which is annoying, and then I get itchy again. And that's something that my sister does have, so now I have that when I don't like it. I'm just like itchy constantly, and randomly too. And but on the positive side, I told my friend this, I don't want to I'm not angry all the time, and I don't want to throat punch my husband. Guys, sometimes the things he says, it's just like, why? And so sometimes, yeah. Anyway, so I would get real mad, like really mad. Like the mood swings prior to being on this was crazy, because I have too much of one and not enough of another. So there wasn't a nice balance or a gentle up and down. It was 0 to 100 right away. One day I would be happy and nice, and the next day I'm like, you don't breathe on me, don't look at me, don't talk to me, you're looking at me too much, I can feel your eyes, you're touching me with your eyes, just stop it. So I think my husband is happy now that I'm not running from that to being really happy and then really sad and then angry. So I'm noticing a difference in myself. I'm not sure if he's noticing a difference yet, or he probably forgot. Let's be honest. He probably forgot that this was happening. But so far, so good in terms of how my body is reacting. So yeah, that is the update for now. Oh, my husband had an MRI on his back. He has sciatica. He's 1 year older than me, so he's not too old to have sciatica, but he's had sciatica for 10 years. So he had surgery for it in 2018, and we were in our late 20s at that point. He has degenerative disc disease, and he's been having pain in his low back again, and he got an MRI, and he has a herniated disc at S1. And he's just gonna have to live with it. He might get the shot. He doesn't want to do surgery. Understandable. It was a long recovery. So we'll see what he decides. So I want to thank everybody. I don't want to keep this video going for too long. I have issues uploading it if it gets really a lot closer to 30 minutes. So fingers crossed this uploads on a decent time and not like Saturday morning like it has in the past. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Again, my name is Chelsea. If you like what you see, please leave a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow. Feel free to subscribe if you want to. And you can, if you like any of my patterns here or you're interested in what I do, please follow me on Etsy. The Etsy link is below, as well as my Instagram. So thank you so much. Enjoy some stitching this week, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.